practical guide on intentional networking that has made a growing impact in the networking and professional development space. On September 13th, 2024, she launched her flagship networking event called Networking in Action with Toyin Asada, bringing together professionals from diverse industries for intentional conversations, learning, and meaningful connections. At the event, she also launched the Beyond Handshakes networking workbook, designed to help individuals apply networking principles practically. Toyi Asada is widely recognized for her work and thought leadership in networking and business law. She has been featured on media platforms including Arise TV, Business Day, The Punch, Smooth 98.1 FM, and others. In 2025, she was awarded as the leading lawyer of the year startup adversary in West Africa by the Legal Era Law Awards. She is happily married with two children, and in her spare time, she enjoys reading, writing, watching movies, and spending quality time with her family and friends. So if the emojis are not there just for fancy, join me in making welcome Oluwatoyi Asada, our networking coach, my networking coach here. So great to have you here once again.
Thank you so much. I'm trying to move this to my laptop. It's quite I don't know, challenging, but I
Uh-huh.
think we can just start from where we are right now till I get that
Absolutely.
sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
So when that happens, then I think I'll be more comfortable putting on my video. Oh my
Yeah.
God. The network is just, still loading on my laptop. So okay.
True.
I think it's okay. I think I can, yeah. I think I'm getting it. It's making progress now. It's
Okay.
making progress now. Yeah, but hi everyone. Good afternoon. I want to say a very big thank you to you all for your patience all these weeks. Honestly, it's not, I've not been happy about the delays, but just the past couple of weeks have been so intense. It's been so intense. It's been so intense. But glory to God for His grace and causing us to always triumph over everything. And you guys have been on my mind. And one thing about me is I take what I do um, pretty seriously. Yeah. I'm sure we all do, but I understand the would I say impacts of what I do and the value that I bring, and I don't take it for granted. So I don't like to rush things. I like to be at least to a large extent ready enough. Because I'm a believer and I always believe the Holy Spirit is always the one that, gives me utterance. But I have to give my own prepare because I have to respect your time, and make sure that it's by the grace of God going to be worth your time. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I always try to ensure that I'm able to deliver value. I'm able to deliver value, whenever I come on board. And so when I'm not feeling fine, I'm not even in the best room of mind to even prepare. No stock of speak. And so that's why there's been a delay. All recording in progress. Okay, so I'm
Okay. So I think she has joined with her sister.
great.
Okay.
So hi, yeah, I feel like we can finally start and I'm finally ready. Thank you all so much. The last session we had, we spoke about was it relational intelligence? Something about relational. I like to call it relational intelligence, but it wasn't coined. Wayne, can you remind me of how we coined that topic?
Yes. So okay, please just give me. Let me try getting. I know it was really heavy on like relationship capital.
Yeah,
Call it.
the relational
I mean,
capital,
jog your
relational
memory.
relationship economy,
Yes,
your
the
relationship,
relationship economy. Yeah.
you know. the focus, so I think the approach for this summit has been, would I say, inward out? And when I say inward out, I mean, people just focus on networking, how to network, but last class was very, very pivotal. And I really hope, okay, I'm seeing some, I say new names, right? But I hope you guys get the recordings in case, because I can't remember Chimi Buka, God's love. I can't really remember Ibuka Kinkpelu. So there are a lot of new faces. And hi, I really hope you can go back and get, when that we make it available to them, the recordings of
Yes,
last.
yes. It's been made available actually. Collins, please.
So I hope,
Am I
I
right?
hope you,
Yes, it's made available.
great, great, because when I say inward, inward out, because networking is just the starting point. You need to master networking very well, the strategies, the skills, and the principles. And that's what we're here for today, right? But when you network, what next? Right? And that was what we did last week. We took time to really understand how you can leverage the relational capital, the nuances behind it, why it is important. We understood how we can even use AI. When we understood how the advent of AI, the technologies, innovation has really, really changed the game, and how at the end of the day, what cannot be replaced is your relationships. So how can we leverage it? We spoke about visibility, generosity, trust, credibility. We spoke about different things. We spoke about being intentional. We spoke about, the things that we can do to ensure that we are, leveraging all of these skills of trust. What does it really mean to be, be trustworthy? What does it mean to be credible? How can you leverage all of these skills? And then we had our, case studies. And yeah, today we're now going to the, um, I say the foundation, networking. How do we start? So, do you mind sharing my slides now?
Yes. Okay. Collins, please.
Okay. So we'll be doing our case studies as usual, but we'll start with the principles first. And last class was amazing. I must commend this the Thriving Psych Circle. You guys are so engaging, and I really, really hope we bring that energy again today. And in fact, my hope is that we take it up, a notch, and our energy is even higher. I mean, it's a weekend, and it's still daytime, early daytime. So, and I really would have loved if we had this thing in the mornings, but being a working mom in Nigeria is not in Nigeria. Being a working mom anywhere is not easy, and my kids are really, really young. So because I'm a morning person, my best times are mornings. I feel like when it's morning, it's fresh. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments or in the chat box. The mornings are fresh. The mornings are full of possibilities. At the mornings, you actually have your best energy. So I love the morning, but I still feel like we still have the morning energy today, right? At this time, it's still like 12. So I hope we can bring it on, and I hope we are ready to go. If you are ready, let me hear ready in the chat box. Say ready, coach. Thank you, Inda. Thank you, Inda. Yes. Thank you, Adetulu. Yeah. Hope we've been well. Hope we've been fine. Hope our businesses have been thriving. Hope we've been applying the principles. So today's topic basically is um Beyond Handshakes. Beyond Handshakes is the title of my book, right? And that's the whole essence of networking. Going beyond, hi, my name is Toyin. Hi, my name is Oyinda Mola. Um, Oyinda, do you mind making my video the pinning my video so that in the recordings it's easy to identify who is speaking? Okay, thank you very much. So I think we're good to go. We're already recording, Abby.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great, great, great. So I trust that we've been well. I trust that we've been fine, and I trust we've been, making attempts to would I say start applying the principles that I taught, you know, in our classes. I mean, at the last class. So I coined today's topic. So the topic that Oyinda gave me is leveraging networks for influence and long-term growth. So, I just would I say give it more context. So going beyond handshakes, using networking to increase visibility and create opportunities. We all go to events. Next slide, Oyinda. We all go to events, and the predominant thing is network, network, network. But the whole point of having these classes is doing it more intentionally. I think Laura was here last class. Melody, hi. I think even I did Twinbo. Hi guys. Good to see you guys again. And I'm looking forward to my new friends that what I say are meeting me for the first time. Well, I'm meeting for the first time. Yeah. So the essence of this class is to ensure that we don't just hi Melody. We don't just know it as what we need to do, but we actually understand how to do it. And so in my journey, I'm pretty young. Yeah, I'm 33 years old. And in my journey, I have actually seen, or I am I'm trying to put it in a way that it makes it real to you. I would say my life, my business is a living expression of what networking can do. My business, my law practice, Sonesis DLP, even the fact that we evolved into a partnership came from networking. Quick story, how did I meet my business partner? Haven't practiced for about 5 years as a solo practitioner running my law practice. I met my partner, my business partner, at an event. I was coming out. I didn't even see her at the event. I was coming out of the event, and I let someone take a picture of me. And I saw. I said, "Please, could you help me take a picture?" And that was how we met. And if you had told me that just meeting her and asking her to take a picture of me would lead to something that would be so pivotal to my career and law practice growth, I'll be like, "How?" But the story goes on and on. Even starting the legal practice, I was about 26 when I actually took that plunge. I made sure at 25. So I was pretty young at an age where people were trying to, just figure out what to do next, trying to get, the next job, which was all well and good. But for me, I had a spiritual conviction to start at that time. So it was a conviction that came with a sense of urgency, right? So I didn't have the luxury to just say, should I not? I knew I needed to start at that time. And it was almost like I had a window. Like if I didn't do it that time, I would do it again. And so I took that plunge. It was a journey, even convincing people that, were close to me, my former boss, to say, what, I want to do this. But I didn't even, I just took a step of faith and I started my practice with zero clients. I had no clients. I had no promised clients. So nobody told me, oh, Tony, go out your practice and then don't worry, I have this brief for my business. You handle our legal affairs. Nobody gave me that promise, right? But I was so sure that it would work. And it came from a deep conviction, right? And that's a spiritual angle. But then you need to get the work done. So there's a spiritual and there's you working out what God will now place his blessing on. And so that's where I had to go out there and start networking. Started going to conferences where my clients are. I started going to Wimbies. From that year, I never missed the Wimbies meeting. Maybe except for the year we had the pandemic. I think that was 2020. I think we had the pandemic 2020 or so. I think, yeah, there was just 1 year where we had it online or so. But till date, I started going to Wimbies every year, going for even my own industry events, MBA SBO conference, MBA conference itself, always going out, just networking so intentionally and consistently. And what happened was I was making a lot of mistakes in the process and I was learning, I was reflecting on my journey, but I never stopped. And that's one thing I really want to take home. Networking is a continuous journey. No matter who you think is so big and is all there, and those big guys you look up to, they understand networking so well, they leverage it so consistently, they don't joke with it because as you rise in the career ladder, the space at the top keeps getting smaller and smaller. So it's like a pyramid. So when you're at the top, what really matters now goes beyond just competence. What matters is who you know, who is speaking for you, who is your sponsor, who can make that one phone call that will guarantee that next opportunity that you need. and the benefits of networking are limitless, they are endless, and we won't even be able to explore everything today. But basically, just to share a bit of my story with you, for you to understand how these things came to be. And at some point in my career, God led me to share my journey, the lessons I've learned, the mistakes I've made, and how that has really impacted me positively on my journey regarding networking. And then that was how my it started with an IG live. Um, then he moved to an ebook, which was going to be a small ebook, and became bigger and bigger. I'm like, oh my God, this is a lot. This is a book. I need to actually sell this, give value because a lot of work has gone into it. And then I launched the ebook, and people are saying, where's the original? Where's the hard copy? And then I launched the hard copy as well. We had a book launch. It was well attended. And the book launch itself was only a testament to how much I've really good in my networking. We had people like Toyin Asada on the panel. We had Fonto Iboye. We had Bubemi Ejeye, if you might you know her, she's an actress. We even had Bola Jogumona, but who couldn't make it that day because she was busy on set. I mean, we had people in the corporate sector as well, the MD of First Marine Actors, and everything on this journey keeps giving testaments to how much I've grown in this network, and I am still growing. So I want us to open our minds on this journey, knowing that it's going to be a lifelong journey. But guess what? The key is progress. And the more you are intentional, the more progress you will make. And that goes into your reading, that goes into being at forums like this, taking these lessons. It also goes into you reflecting on your journey. Oh, I went for this event today. Or how far has my networking been so far? You think about it and you reflect. All these principles I'm learning, how am I applying it to myself? And that was what inspired me launching my workbook, which will help you to reflect. Because I realized that people learn all these principles, but they don't really know how to apply them. So that's been the journey so far. That has made me an author of 2 books now and a speaker and thought leader in the area of networking, apart from speaking on legal and business stuff. So that's some part of my story. I thought to share, give some context to my background, and hope it inspires 1 or 2 people in this room. So let me ask you, is your network really your net worth? What do you think about that? I would like to hear from 1 or 2 people, no more than 2 people. If you want to chat, leave each other. I would like at least 1 or 2 people to, raise up your hand and have the floor to just give us a 1 minute perspective on this question. Do you think your network is really your net worth? I want to hear from someone. Anybody, somebody, raise up your hand. Is your network really your net worth? Go, where's everybody? Where's everybody so quiet? So I'm having crickets.
Well,
Oh, a
I want
couple
you
of
to
us are actually raising our hands.
Why
yes,
can't
I'm also raising.
why can't I see them? Is it the network? Okay. Please go ahead while I figure out how to see the rate hands. Go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. And I once again, sorry,
Hi.
I'm still having network issues. Okay, I think I'm back.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can.
Okay. Thank you. I actually believe your net worth is your net worth, right? So I want to add this man speaker. I forgot his name at the moment. And it was like, most people think wealth is about the amount of money you've earned, how much you have in your account, how much you have in your stocks and investment. But in reality, it's not. So he gave this example that, for instance, if um a man on the street, like a random person walking on the street, bumps into Dangote today, and this person has like 0 naira to his name,
Mm.
and he walks into a car dealership and he's like, "Oh, I want the most expensive car here." Obviously, they're going to look down at the person and be like, "Guy, I can see you. Like I've seen you finish. This is all you are." But
Mm-hmm.
if that guy put a call through to Dangote, I'd be like, "Hello, I'm here. I need this car." And we give them the call. Say, "Okay, give the phone to the person." If that guy is going to walk out with that car, he's going to leave that venue with the car. He's going to leave that lot with the car, not because he had a naira to his name, but because of the backing that he has, right? And that is it. That it's not about how much you've earned. It's not about how hard you work, because if we're going to be rating this thing by how hard you work, tons of people work hard. That means the people at the top will not even be there. Let's not lie. So it's really
Yeah.
your network. Your network is your network. Like there's no two ways about that. And since I had that speech, I've seen networking in a whole new light. Like, okay, it's not just about how much I'm working to earn, but also about the people that I can show, oh, I'm credible, I'm trustworthy, I have something of value that you can see me as a person of value. So yeah, your network is your network.
Thank you so much, Melody. Thank you so much. Oyinda, how much time do I have? I want to be more conscious of time.
Well, I'm looking at 2 hours. So
So
so you can just yeah. But I mean today is Saturday, so you can yeah.
2 hours is just fine. 2 hours is just fine. I think we can even round up. Hopefully, we can even round up early, earlier than that. But I want to be sure, so I don't just go. Don't, I want to have it. I want to be guided, basically. Yeah. So very well said, Melody. God bless you. And Oyinda put in the chat box and said it was Cosmas Maduka that said that. And if Cosmas Maduka is saying that, you need to listen. We all know who he is. Okay. Need I say more? We can even just close this class. Right? Thank you for sharing, Melody. Mary, please go ahead. 1 minute. Go ahead. Mary, your hands is raised. If you are speaking, you are muted. Mary, can we have you now? Okay, so if Mary is not here, why would for Mary?
Yes, I was trying to unmute.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yes, like she has rightly said, your network is your net worth. Because based off what you just said, imagine the person you met and how she was able to like get you to the heights you have now, you've gotten to now. So I can say, imagine having like five quality persons in your cycle, and these people can connect you to different opportunities. You don't necessarily have to have a lot of money inside your account, but once you have these quality people that they've gotten to some certain height and they can help you, they can elevate you to that height that you want to get to. So I think that statement is correct.
Okay, very well said. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you. Blessing.
Okay. Hi, Toyin. Good afternoon. Good to see you again. Good afternoon,
Thank you.
everyone. Like everyone has rightly said, I agree with them. And I'm not just agreeing. I intended to speak with context because and not just any network. I mean, we can have a lot of people around us, but we should also build quality network. I would give instance to the kind of people I had when there are so many opportunities that you might not have your money might not give you access to. It's people, and it has happened to me severally. Cases where I needed someone on site in my sister's school to help with her admission. In fact, I keep telling people that she got admission through that person. I don't know the person, but because we were in the same group chat, he was able to help. Cases where, okay, my first event, it was my network of people that attended my first event that now gave me a community of people that I can now rely on. Now I don't even need to start begging or forcing my friends to attend some events. I know that I will get people to attend. So I think it's something that everybody should really look into building, and not just people, quality people. I'm really praying for this, honestly. As I grow, I've been trying to, prune my network as I'm growing, um as I'm looking at towards the next stage of my life. So I don't know if I've said what needs to be heard. So yes, your network
I
is
mean,
truly your network.
perspective, and you are spot on. Thanks for sharing. When it comes to network, when you say quality in networking, it now behoves on you to work it out. So, like you rightly said, um, it's not really about just networking. It's about the quality of people that can be there for you. And so that's why we're having these classes, how to be intentional about building your own network, and even network that you already have. How do you, would I say, maximize the potential of that network? That's where quality comes in. And I also
go further to say, how are you a quality person? How are you a person of quality through your network, right? So you guys have said great things, and you are all.
Please, can I add to what she just said?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so about maximizing your network, right? So I remember when I first joined TTC, I initially joined TTC as a copywriter, a content writer for TTC, right? That was what I joined as. I came across TTC's offer on LinkedIn and I was like, okay, why not just go for it? Then after that, I became the brand and comms leader. Then when I became the brand and comms assistant leader, I started attending connection hour. So during connection hour, I would always share my knowledge about LinkedIn, why people should be on LinkedIn, how LinkedIn has changed my life, how it's changing my client's life, and every other thing. So I was always speaking about it, not even like I'm looking for clients from the community, but just to share because I was in a very rough place about 5 years ago. I did not have any job. I was just trying living, just living. I was applying to jobs. I was not getting the offer letters and every other thing. Then I'm just speaking here, right? When I joined LinkedIn, I started getting clients without even having to pitch to anybody like clients from Nigeria, clients from abroad. I have clients that I'm working with. That's the picture me to anybody. So like I was always here during connection hour. You guys should be on LinkedIn. Don't sleep on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the place to be and everything. Then one day after connection hour that morning, I just saw someone in my DM. She's like, "Oh, hi Melody. You said we should come to your DM." I'm like, "Yeah." Say what do you want? She said, okay, this is where I am in my career. This is where I want to get to. This is what I want to achieve right now. Do you think LinkedIn is the best place for me? I said, yes, you should be on LinkedIn. And we signed. And it's not saying it is the money is cheap like that. Because you know Nigeria's currency is big. It's not saying it's cheap like that. So I'm really surprised because I would not lie with all honesty. I will never ever believe that I would close a client from TTC. I'm not even going to lie. But that point just made me realize something that there is no organization or anything that you are doing or anybody you meet that should actually look down on because you never know where your next opportunity is going to come from. And honestly, since we've been working together as a brand strategist and content writer for LinkedIn, it's been amazing. The results she got from month one, from month two, she even got co-founder offer. She had someone reach out to her for them to start a company that she was already intending to start. And it's been mind blowing, honestly. And every single day, this person keeps reaching out to me and saying, Melody, meeting you has been the best thing that has happened to me this year. Like, it's been crazy. So, like, our network, we should have quality people in our network. Any place you are in, just know that, oh, something good can always come out. Don't look down on any organization, don't look down on anything. It's been crazy. Quality people, have quality people. And also, another one I'd like to add 2 days ago, my phone got fault. And I'm currently a student in Unilag, right? I have my exams coming up by the 30th of August. So I couldn't pay my fees because my phone was bad. I could only access my account through my phone. I did not have money. I was confused. How do I go about it? Then I reached out to one of my friends and he helped me with it. Like two people came through for me and I was like, damn, they just spent the money. I'm like, hey, I'm going to They're like, Melody, we know you now. You never did this. I'm like, really? It's crazy, honestly. Like, as quality, it's not just about money, but opportunities. People always speak good about you in the rooms you meet you. Like, whenever they hear an opportunity, they think of you. Um, that is, it's really good to have this kind of people in your corner. So that was what I just
Amazing. Thank you so much, Melody, for giving us more examples from your own journey. And I'm really excited for your journey and how far you're going to go and how far you've come and how far you're going to go, from here. Well done, Melody. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure we have better perspective. So what I'll just add to that is my own perspective on this topic. That is your network really your net worth? So my answer to that question is your network has the potential of being your net worth. It has the potential. But how well are you maximizing it? So for that statement to be true for you is how well you have harnessed that potential. So we all have networks. I don't know if I said in our last class, we're all born into a family. well, from that family, it's okay. So let's quickly read Laura's contribution. She said she was on the road. So Laura says, okay. So Laura says, for me, I agree with this statement that your network is your network because aside from having quality people in your space and the opportunities that comes with it, it saves you years of having to figure things out yourself. You get the opportunities to learn from those that have gone ahead of you. That's working smart. I actually agree. So net worth is not only about cash. Wealth is not defined only by money in terms of cash. There are so many forms of wealth. People are wealth to you. The right people, the right circles. Education is also wealth, right? There are different forms of wealth. Your health is a wealth, right? It's wealth, not is a wealth. Your health is wealth. So there's so many forms of wealth. Cash is even like at the bottom because cash is just a tool. Money is a tool, right? So for me, if you don't harness your network, then it can't be your net worth. So you're just not potential. It's like having a book in your library that you are not reading. So the person that doesn't have that book or that has never read it, has never read about that book, and you who has read that book, who has that book in your library, you know about the book, you know the benefits, but you have not read it. You and that person, you are the same. You are no different. Let me tell you again, if you have a book in your library on shelf and you have it there, you bought it, you haven't read it, the person that hasn't read that book, that has read that book, you are no better than that person. But the moment you take up that book and you read it and you begin to, even if it's a fiction, enjoy the book, you can now say, I have read the book, not that I have it, but I haven't read it. There's no difference. And if it's a non-fiction that has a educational purpose, if you've read it, you apply it, then you are better than that person because you used the potential of that book being in your shelf. So that being said, let's set the ball rolling. Next slide.
Collins, are
So
you
what is
there?
networking?
Okay.
Yeah. What is networking? Networking is a process of interacting with people with the intention of building mutually beneficial relationships. I'm going to stress on the very, very key words here. Mutually beneficial process. That tells you that networking takes time. Networking requires patience. You don't rush the process. You don't meet someone today and expect all the potential of that relationship to happen today. You create a rapport, but you're going to build, and building takes time. And that time, what happens in that time is what they call process. And also, mutually beneficial relationships. It's a call to give before expecting to receive. So seek, what can I bring to this relationship? So I would say quality people, quality networks. You as a person, are you a person of quality? We have to remember that quality attracts quality. If you are a person of quality, you would attract quality. In a room full of people that are not of quality, if you stand out as people, as a person of quality, people that have quality will be attracted to you. So you only get quality people in your circle, in your connections, when you yourself become a person of value, become a person of quality, right? So seek, what can I bring to this person? It can be anything. And that's where rapport comes in. Once rapport comes in, you're able to know the person better. They can highlight their needs. You can spot it. You can say, I can be of value to that person. You can find various areas of needs. And when I say needs, don't think too deeply. It has to be corporate stuff. It has to be like maybe a job or a referral for an opportunity at work. It can be anything. For example, I remember when my nanny just left literally a week ago. But before she left, she's been with us for over 4 years, about 4 years plus, 4 years and a month thereabouts. I mean Lagos, this is in Nigeria. I've been nanny for 4 years straight. it's a testimony, right? How did I get to meet my nanny? At Wimbies. I don't know if you're familiar with Wimbies. It's a conference, can be any conference. So, but for example, on a Wimbies, and I was, so at Wimbies, they really have like makeup areas. So if you want to do your makeup to a discounted price, do your makeup, and then take a picture. So I was doing my makeup and I was talking to someone, who had networked with from Winbase, just like I think a year or two before then. I think a year same at that time. And they were just chatting to like, oh, how you doing? How's it going? And then I was even pregnant, right? And they was just asking me how you doing. I'm like, oh, I'm doing fine. I need a nanny, but I just cheating that I need a nanny or something like that. And then she was like, oh, she can give me an agent's number. So it was that agent that, that got me my nanny that was with me for 4 years. And she was so good. Nobody's perfect. I know when it comes to nanny, that you have to learn to be tolerant. But she was good, essentially at her job. She was good. And she's been, having her as support system has given a lot of stability to my journey. While having her, I had my second child. While having her, I launched my books, because I know that I had my home was stable enough for me to focus on other things. I don't have to worry about my children all the time. Of course, I'm a mom, I'll always be hands-on, but having that support is very essential. So you also freeing your dreams. And that has been a journey. So I'm giving an example of domestic need, having a nanny. You might think domestic, but it's so important, right? So it can be anything. So I was talking to somebody and she told me, and I was telling her my, issues. So from my perspective, I have an agent too. Doesn't have to be, send, corporate stuff or, proposals. It can be that. And those things, they come without saying. But the point is, when you're building rapport, it can be anything. And the point I'm making is not to belittle the value you can give to somebody. Don't belittle it. They might seem up there, or even volunteer time, for example, to maybe help them with their NGO, to volunteer with their NGO. That is value to them. So value can be anything. And the more you rapport people, the more you connect with them, you can figure out what value can bring to that person. So why networking matters? It helps you increase visibility. And listening to even you guys, I'm sure you guys already having experiences of the benefits of networking. Melody has shared hers with us. Who else shared? I want to quickly go back. Blessing shared, Mary shared. So it's immense, but let's just highlight some of them. Visibility. Many spoke about being on LinkedIn. Those platforms, it helps you to stay visible to people that matter, that will be, that will give you opportunities that you need to get opportunities, right? Build credibility, right? You learn from others. So it's not even only about just, like I said, whether it's tangible things in terms of jobs or referrals, even the opportunity to learn from people. You can get mentors. You can just even from your colleagues when we're discussing. You say, oh, do you know this? Do you know that? Or do this person? And you are picking up information. You are learning. You build valuable relationships. I can go on and on about the valuable relationships I've built. I told you about my partner, my business partner, just from I am take a picture because we built a rapport. We didn't end up becoming business partners. And when we merged our law firms, we became stronger together, became a force, right? You build valuable relationships, you grow your career and your business, and then you are able to position yourself in the right rooms. All benefits are going to go on and on. I'm sure you understand what they mean. So I hope they stay top of mind, and I hope you're reminded daily. Next slide. So my focus today is to now talk about the before, the during, and the after. My daughter keeps poking her head through the door and stuffing. So if you see any back from the door, it's my daughter. Let's just focus. Bear with me, right? The three major aspects of networking: the before, the during, and the after. They matter a whole lot. I can go on and on about networking. I have a whole book on networking. And in my journey as a thought leader in this would I say topic, or I'm trying to connote it. In my journey as a thought leader on networking, basically, I see that there's so much to it. And there's a huge gap because people just talk about network, but there's a gap in how to. And there's a whole lot we can say about it. The more I learn, the more I study, the more I research, the more I teach on networking, the more I find gaps, the more I find wide expanse of information, knowledge that still needs to be shared in networking. And so time will not permit me to go into everything anyways. Even one book is not enough. I have a lot of books coming up by God's grace, even on networking. Just be on the lookout. But our focus here today, if you're able to just hone in and listen and reflect on things I'm sharing, to do you a lot of good. So I've coined into 3 stages: the before, the during, and the after networking. So when it comes to before, it speaks to in here or in here, whatever you think your mind is, in here. What is your mindset before networking? What goes through your mind? How do you think about yourself? Do you feel small when you're in a large crowd and you feel invincible? You feel like my voice doesn't matter? Do you feel like I never reach, I never blow? These guys are better than me. Or do you feel like my own English is not really spray, let's use English? Or do you even feel like you can actually speak to people, strangers you don't know? What is your mindset? So there's a need for us to have the right mindset towards networking. This has to do with ourselves, the people we interact with, and even the idea of networking itself. On this journey, you would have to unlearn some things about yourself, about people, and about even this word networking. For example, if your mindset is to have a transactional mentality, I hope by now, if you were at my last class, and if you've been in this class even for the past 56 minutes that we've been speaking or thereabouts, I'm sure you're changing your mindset regarding that transactional mentality. That when it comes to networking, it's about mutual benefits. That when it comes to networking, it's not only about what you can get. So mindset change is also 3-pronged. How you see yourself. You know, there's a saying that nobody can make you feel small without your own permission. So you are still, people will try sometimes. People are fickle. Human beings are fickle. And when I say human beings, I mean you and I. When we see people, we assess them by how they look, what they're wearing, maybe their car, their house. Before we even get to know who they are, we are very fickle. So we judge people like that based on the outside appearance. And so sometimes you are even judging your own self by that, by those metrics. So people too need to change their mindset regarding meeting people. Open your minds and don't don't try and size people up. Size people up is a wrong mindset. Open your mind to know that everybody brings value. Everybody. Nobody is dispensable. Everybody has something they're bringing to the table. So just be a person that sees people the way God in heaven sees them. Right? And then with regarding the networking itself, see it in the ideal light. And so how can you even see networking in the ideal light? You see networking in the ideal light by learning the principles of networking, the ideal proper principles of networking. People have warped principles of networking. They have it warped. They go to a place and they don't get anybody else and look, oh, that guy over there. Now I want to see in this whole place. I just see that guy who did that table, that chairman, that that's billionaire, that millionaire, that whoever it is, that guy, then I'm good at that. I don't even care about any other person. I know I network with my people. You need to unlearn some things. So I've already said they need to learn, unlearn, relearn, and talk about transactions. And when it comes to how you see yourself, you would only be able to maximize networking when you build the inner man. In my book, I have a whole chapter on the inside. So I spoke on confidence boosters, right? It comes from the inside out. It comes from the inside out. If you feel small on the inside, it will show. Even people that wear the designers and they look certain way, and they cannot be confident if somebody is smaller than them. That's a small-minded way of thinking. Actually, you're not really confident in yourself, in who you truly are. You're confident in material things. So you need to build yourself up, right? And how do you build yourself up? You build yourself up by, I personally build myself up by seeing myself where God sees me. We were bought with a price. God came and he died for us, right? That's how much value we carry. That's the way that's my own foundation for my own confidence. So even on this when I disappoint myself, when I make mistakes, when I'm not at my best, I still choose to see myself the way God sees me, because God sees beyond my fault. He sees me and he loves me like that. So for me, that's my own ultimate foundation. So what's your own foundation for how you see yourself? What do you build your confidence on? What do you build your self-esteem on? Then moving from that, the foundation of my own foundation, I'm giving you my own example of how I see myself. Then I go into how equipped am I? How have I built confidence? Right? And then when I go into a room, how prepared am I? Am I well dressed? Have I done my research? Right? So confidence is something that you wear like a garment. You don't wait to be perfect. You don't wait to be better than you don't try and assess people to determine how confident you will be and say, if this people they're not my level, then I can be confident. No. Confidence is confidence. And so when you go into a place, you enter with confidence. When you make people be confident who you are. I remember recently, I had my event last year, my first event, Networking in Action last year in September. By God, this next month, we're clocking 1 year that we launched Networking in Action. We went on that one in March this year, glory to God. So at that event, I'd met there's someone I used to just really admire. She's clearly from a very, well-to-do family. I just admired her from a distance, just from a distance. I started following on Instagram years ago, and she was at some point I was doing like YouTube. I follow her, and I just really admired her. I didn't even know her soul, but I just liked her. Just really admired her. And I met her at a conference a couple of years, just maybe I think 2-3 years ago, and I just spoke to her. So I really admired you. I follow you on Instagram. And I was like, oh, she was so friendly, so well, so warm. Took a picture together, and that was it. I think we exchanged contacts, and that was it. And I just kind of followed up, once. And when I was going to launch my event, when I was promoting the event, part of our strategy was to go into my contacts and just send messages to people, invite them, send them the links for registration, let them know the value they'll get from the event. So she was my contact, and I sent her the message. I didn't even think she would be interested in attending because, she's, what I say, a high class person. And that's why she always have confidence in herself. I just say, you know what? For me, it's like throwing a net. Just, you never know. Just do it. Instead of overthinking. Like, this is not something like giving myself every, because as human beings, actually, we like to just overthink some things. We like to be perfect. We like to try and measure up whatever it is. Just do it sometimes. There's something I heard recently that, I heard some years back, and that really struck me. Any shots you don't take, automatically you've missed it. If you're playing basketball and you don't bother shooting, you've missed it automatically. Don't say, if I shoot, I will not enter the net. So then you have missed it. That person that tried to shoot the ball has a higher chance than you who didn't even bother. So, if you miss it, you tried. And even in missing it, you learn how not to miss it next time. And that's why I say it's a journey. You make mistakes, you learn, you relearn, you unlearn. But when you take a shot, you've opened the potential probability. So back to the story. I sent it to her, and she responded immediately. She was like, "Oh my God, well done. I would look at this link, and I would try to attend." I thought she might not, I wasn't sure if she would, but guess what? She registered, and she was there at the event. And I'm like, wow, someone I used to admire, or and she was so impressed. And it turns out that we have a lot of mutual friends. I knew that she had a lot of my friends. They worked together at some point, So, and one of my friends called me and said, Toyin, this person, reached out to me and said, wow, Toyin. Wow, hold on to her. She's amazing. Hold on to her. That means like that's a good person to have in your corner. I say, wow. I said to myself, like, this is who I'm looking up to. And they see you as someone that, oh my God. The other people, like I said, I would like this person's friend. Does it happen to you like, this person I really like to have in my corner? I would like to be in a circle. And someone that I was looking up to and saying, oh, this is straight. I just liked her. I really admire her. Now end up saying, tell her that if she's your friend, hold that tight. Just say, hold that tight. You can imagine. So always have confidence in yourself, no matter what, even if you're not feeling your best. Because we have good days, we have bad days. We have that just there. They're just like, just there. But don't live your life ruled by feelings. Don't make long-term decisions based on short-term feelings. Feelings are very fickle. 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down. I bet you now, if you see 10 million in your account, I'm even going too far. 1 million last one in your account. In fact, I'm going too far. Just see like 100,000 naira that you didn't even bargain for in your account. How would you feel? Let me know in the comment section. How would you feel? Won't you just feel like, life is good? Life is not that hard like that. Your mood will just change. 100,000, your mood will just be reset. Right? So feelings are very fickle. So don't make a long-term decision based on how you feel. Sometimes you have to go get over yourself. Yeah, hey, me that night they're eating pepper soup. You see? Yeah, that's life is not that hard. You see that the world is like God is good. You think this all your negative feelings without any positive. Eh? Right? So feelings are fickle. So focus on connection, not performance. Right? It's not about going there to figure out who can be your next client, who can be your next customer, or who can give you the next opportunity. It's about just connecting on a personal human level. How are you doing? Chat about the events. It's your first time coming to the events. There are a lot of prompts. We'll talk more. Next slide. You know, so when you're going to a place, prepare. Craft your elevator pitch. So that even that your pitch that you want to pitch people, do you have it ready? How prepared are you? Preparation also boosts your confidence. So they are boosters, but the base and the core preparation based on outside appearance. But you should also do your own parts in preparing well. And that's where you start from. And for me, when you have something, God places his blessing on it. And then you find that you're even enjoying favor, you're enjoying grace because you have prepared and you've, prayed ahead. I would keep this strategy. Pray before you go to places to network. Pray for that event. I know that some of us might not be, I don't know if you're Christians, but honestly, you can't do what you don't have. That's my own foundation, and that has been my story. That's what has worked for me. There's always supernatural that hits the natural because you're not the most qualified. Trust me, you're not the most competent. There's a distinctive factor that will distinguish you, and that factor usually is grace and favor. And you find that even people that don't believe in God sometimes they get it because they prepare. They prepare, and there are spiritual laws that guide everybody, whether or not you believe in God. So prepare, have your pitch ready, and your pitch basically is who you are, what you do, and why it matters. How will you help the next person? And one other thing you can do when you meet people is break the ice with genuine curiosity. Be really, really and truly interested in people. Like don't focus on just yourself, what I do. Just even want to know who is Toyin, who is Oyinda, who is Melody. Why do you need Melody? That Melody is a very interesting name. Ask a question about it. I really like your name. What inspired your parents give it to you? Do you know? That's a question that can go on and on because it's interesting. And then you learn more about that person if they're willing to share, right? Ask questions that would really, really build rapport. Don't ask questions like, how are you? Fine. Close the question that just no, yes. Questions that will open the floor, right? And when you go into a room, when you meet people, start asking yourself, what can I give to people in this room? So think about it. In this room, what can I give to people? Maybe I share with us about how, in the community was able to bring in a lot of ideas regarding LinkedIn information. So that's knowledge. That's knowledge, right? Encouragement, opportunities, value, connections. Think, what can I bring to people in this room? Oh, thank you, Melody, for even giving me what I said. She has had many people start conversation with her on LinkedIn just from hearing her name. I mean, there's so many talking points. No, don't be boring. Everything is corporate, social, work, and don't calm down. Calm down. We're all human beings at our core. We are human beings, and people would respond to you based on that human factor. They let their guards down. I remember I was anchoring a panel at our last summit at the British Nigerian Law Forum. I was anchoring a session on cross-border networking, and before I started asking everybody questions on my panel. I started saying, "What's your favorite meal?" I said dodo or this. It's not dodo. I ask questions about just things that make them tick. We're all human at the end of the day. We go to work, we come back home, and then we're just us beyond just the corporate aspect, beyond the business, beyond the school. We're still us. Yeah, next slide. So now I've kind of touched on the drawing aspect, but now we go deeper. We've learned it before. Now, while networking, what do you do? Do not exchange contacts, you build rapport. I have already gone into this, right? And when in building rapport, I've spoken about asking questions, those things help to build rapport. And then let me give examples of these questions. What inspired you to go into the line of work? What trends do you see shaping your industry? How did you get started in your career? Beautiful, Melo. Thanks for sharing. What's the most rewarding part of what you do? What inspired you to attend events like this? What's the best advice you received professionally? These are icebreaker questions that open the floor for rapport, open the door for genuine connection. Sometimes even just gist. Maybe during lunchtime at a conference and people on the table, and the next thing, someone just speaks about something, the next thing you're talking. All of that, you're talking, you're building rapport. So leverage that time and get to know each other better. Exchange, that's when you exchange contacts. In fact, I would advise you to build rapport for exchange contacts. Don't exchange contact for building rapport. You can do that if depending on the situation, but I advise you to connect first before now saying, oh, my name is this is my number. In fact, before you know what's going on, if already follow each other, then you are able to continue. And so your follow-up is seamless, right? And in building rapport, learn to listen. It's not all about you. Listen more than you speak. Don't be a butterfly, just going up and down. Listen, hi, my name is this. Here's my card. I do this. Listen, give it time. It's not about the quantity of connections, but the quality. So learn to listen. Listening is a skill I realize that is underrated and underdeveloped. Yes. It's underdeveloped. Listening, not because you have 2 ears that you can hear, doesn't mean you are listening. A lot of us struggle to listen properly. You go in your workplace, your boss gives you an instruction, you didn't listen properly and you do the opposite. When your boss doesn't know what asks you to do, you now start feeling like your boss is on your matter, is on your case, your boss is a witch or a wizard. But listening is a skill that a lot of us don't utilize. They're talking to you before they feel you already think of how to respond. You're not listening to understand. You want to respond, but you want to say your own too. Oh, you cut people off. It's an art. It's a skill you need to build. And I'm talking to myself. We all need to actually listen properly. We need to learn to listen and listen well. When you listen, you get to really, really understand them better. And when you're listening to people, they know, they can feel that there's actually, I have some attention. That's what I want to benefit. Number 2, when you listen to people, you're able to pick up talking points. You pick up areas that you can be of value to them. You're able to pick up areas that you can piggyback off in a conversation that can keep it flowing. It's very important that you listen. And when you're following up, as the third benefit of listening, when you're following up, you're able to pick up things from when you were interacting that you can follow up on. And so I'm talking to you, for example, and I mentioned to you that, oh, I'm running up my PhD. When you follow up with me, you can say things like, oh, how's your PhD thesis going? Because you remember that you actually remembered. But if you didn't listen, you remember because you didn't even hear it because your own was just about how you can just talk your own, I talk my own. But you're just, trying to just finish your conversation, let me move to the next person. Listen and listen, good. It's really, really helpful. So I've explained having open-ended questions. What's the most exciting thing that you're working on right now? What's exciting right now in your work? That's open-ended. They can, and when people talking about themselves, then they get so excited, and so their guard is let down. They're open. They're willing to share. They're happier, and so it's no longer tense. People are getting to each other, and then people are already like friends. So next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So now we're in the after, right? So if we were in like maybe a physical session, we would have had like a quick exercise right now. But because we are virtual right now, let's just learn the classwork and try and adapt it in our own lives, breaking the ice with questions on your own. Start preparing your mind for questions that you ask people when you meet them. Think about it. In my book, I have a lot of icebreaker questions, right? And the same in my workbook. Well, now we are in the after. So I've met you. Hopefully, we have used the principles that I've shared. We've connected really well, built a rapport. And then what happens next? There's something about when you meet people, that excitement is there. People are just always like, the room is buzzing. Everybody's full of promises. It's positive. We are all pumped up. and then things are flown. So you maximize that moment, but don't expect that moment to always translate to the next day. So you've had a wonderful time, but you get home and you're tired, for example. But the next day is another thing that I have to face: work, family, things come up, stress, and then that same vibe, that same moment does not really translate. You still have good memories. You remember that I was good yesterday, but we may not be feeling as good as we were feeling yesterday. So, how do you follow up? How do you carry down moments and leverage the things that you guys shared, the connections you made in that moment? That's where follow up comes in. And for me, follow up is the most important aspect of networking and is the most challenging. It's very challenging, even for me speaking to you. So on your journey, you have to figure out what works for you. Just figure out how you follow up with each person. And let me just quickly say, it's not my slide, but when you follow up with A, is different. It's different like for my follow up with B, but the principles are the same. The basic principles are the same. But then you have to work it out based on the level of connection, based on who that person is to you. Would I say that person is kind of like higher or contemporary, or that person is subordinate? So how you follow up people is very important, but the principles they are clear. And what are they? Follow up within 48 hours. There's a timeline, there's a time limit, because it's about out of sight, out of mind. So the longer you're out of sight, the more I can even forget about you. So how are you following up? It's going to take you like forever. I remember when someone reached to me and said, "Oh, hi, we met at this event. Or now I'm into travel and logistics. You need travel services, let me know." I'm like, number one, I can't remember you. I'm not sure I remember even anybody wants to pitch with your name, right? But if I follow up early enough, it would have been easier. Still go with build a rapport from there, and it will be easier to have to keep it top of mind. So follow up within 48 hours. Send a short personal message, and the advisor will always pick back of us what you discussed while you're connecting with that person. That always helps. Say it was nice meeting you. Bye bye. That's so now that's become like it was nice meeting you. Blah 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 blah. Pick back off your conversation. What struck by that person? Pick something from that conversation and then talk about it. I wish you well in your upcoming exam. Oh, I wish you safe delivery if the person is pregnant. The person told you that, oh, I just got a new job. All the best to your new job. Even basic things like, oh, my daughter, just not basic anyways. Oh, my daughter, she's learning ballet. Greetings to your baby girl. Tell her that she's a champion. Like just anything, whatever. Draw reference from your connection. Said that. And then connect on LinkedIn and other platforms. So it's not easy to follow up, but these platforms make it easier. So when I follow up, I send my message to you. We're on WhatsApp. So when I'm posting on WhatsApp, that's how you need to get your platforms active. When I'm posting on WhatsApp, I'm seeing your story, you're seeing my stories. On Instagram, the same thing I'm posting, I'm seeing you're seeing me. And what I even try to do sometimes, when I see people, maybe it's their birthday, for example, I wish them well on Instagram, and I go back to the DMs on WhatsApp. Sometimes I call, depending on how close we are. I call or I message on WhatsApp, right? That way, we are continue the conversation and the connection. So use platforms, it's easier. Because when they post, oh, this person, I remember this person, and then you can comment, whatever. Stay visible and intentional. So being visible means posting things about yourself on those platforms that people can see, right? So next slide. Yeah. So when it comes to following up, think long term. Like I said, it's a patience game. It's a process. It takes time. So seek to cultivate long-term relationships. Relationships grow when you stay in touch. Just stay in touch. Keep in touch. Just call. Just say hi. And then one other thing you can do that really helps is share opportunities. Oh, you're looking for a job. Oh, I saw this job opening. Oh, this is your field. I thought this article might be helpful. I thought this post on Instagram might be helpful. Invite them, and another event is going to they want to attend. A kind word. If I'm making sense, let me know in the chat box. I know Mela is very active and knowing that people, every other person is not so active. I want to hear from everybody. Is any of this thing resonating with you? Let me know in the chat box. Are you learning something new? And then it's their birthday, celebrate them. Thank you, Melody. Happy birthday. Oh, congratulations on your graduation. Congratulations on your master's graduation. Congratulations on giving birth. whatever it is, just celebrate their wins. Any win they post, celebrate it. Those are ways to follow up. And then, depending on how well you connect, you can schedule meetups and hangouts. You can take it offline, right? Take it up. Okay, you know what? Let's hang out for drinks. Let's go to this event together. Let's go for lunch. Let's go for dinner. So, like I said, there are various degrees of connections. Some connections are so strong that you feel like, where have been all my life? You're like my sister. And some are just like, okay, it's going to take some time. There are different degrees of connection, and I've actually taught on that, in other webinars, and how you can actually leverage them. And sometimes when you are networking, be intentional, put it in your schedule. Say this hour, I'm going to connect with my circle, people that I've actually met in the past 2-3 months. Let me sit and list them out. And that's where my workbook comes in handy. It helps you to reflect and track your follow-up. Check in with them. So you have to actually schedule it because life is so busy. We're so busy. Adulting is not easy. But when you schedule it, you take it like work. So as busy as we are, we still have for Netflix, so I'm going to say a movie. So you can actually spare time to go and actually say, you know what, people that I've met in the past 2-3 months, this last event I attended, let me sit and just check in with them and say hello. Right? Think I did so involved. So blocking networking hour to check your circle, schedule it. Good. Put your to-do lists and say in a week, I must call at least 1-2 people. I must send a message to 1-2 people. Checking on them. So networking is not about just adding contacts. It's about building relationships that increase visibility, create opportunities, and multiply impacts. The goal is also impacts. And that's where value comes in. And it's mutual. You will get impact, you will get value. Yes, Melody, we need to do it. We all need to. It's a journey. But the more we try, the better we get. Next slide. So yeah, that brings me to the end of the principles aspects, of today's class. You can connect with me here. Follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or my Instagram. What you can also do for yourself to help you is on any of these platforms, you click on the link in the bio, you would see the button where you can subscribe to my newsletters. That way, I send a lot of gems, my emails for my email listing. So you always get a lot of information. You get nuggets of wisdom or network and everything. And you can send me a mail if you have questions or any inquiries. If you want to come and take you on a personal one-on-one coaching, let me know. So let's connect from here. But this is the part 1 of today's class. So Oinda, please take us to the part 2, where we will now be going down. And now those that have been sleeping on this class, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. We're going to now start looking at practical scenarios that we can, analyze and learn from on this journey. We've done the theory, it's time for practical. So Oinda, our slide. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So far, can one person, not Melody, please, and not Oinda, can one person share what they've learned, one new thing they've learned from what we've learned so far into this class? Not Melody, not Oinda. They've been so great. So I need more energy, more action, more energy. I need more people to just share with me one thing they've learned so far from the class today. One new thing that you didn't really see before about networking, and today has really, you can, raise up your hand to be unmuted, or you can put in the chat box. I want to hear from 1 or 2 people about how today has been for them so far. What is that one new thing you've learned in today's class? Or maybe a reminder. But let me know if anything new, anything like a reminder, let me know in the comments before we continue. I'm going to be to. I'm waiting.
Sorry, can I speak?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was going to raise my hand, but the interface just got locked and I could not
quickly raise my hand to get permitted to speak.
No problem. Go ahead.
So
You can hear you.
far, I mean, it's been eye opening. Every session with you, Toyin, has always been eye opening. And it's just like constant reminder of things that we should not forget, things that we might get lost in. For instance, you mentioned not looking down on people, not necessarily being transactional. And that has been like a watchword for me these days with networking. I remember asking a question about events, going for events and on in the last class. So far, I've also learned what my priority should be when I try to speak to people. Even while on this call, I've been thinking of what to do better, how to go about my ways better, especially when it comes to reaching out to people for the first time. The first goal shouldn't be about selling. um Before now, it's I'm not going to lie, it's always like I might not be forward, but maybe after first and second conversation I was like, oh, I do business too, around this, I do that, I sell this, just in case, I open. And I realized that truly immediately we push that in, it just showers down the conversation a bit. Maybe the person feels like pressured, and maybe because they don't
Yeah.
have something to offer me at that time, they don't want to let me down, waiting for the best time to buy and the
Mm,
like. So I just thought to myself, okay, I think I'm going to be more conscious of this. That's one. I mean, I've learned a lot of things on this call and in
thank you
the whole session so far. Thank you so much.
for sharing. God bless you. Thank you. And it's a journey. We've all been there. Like I told you, it's been a journey for me, and it's all what I'm doing now, being an author on networking, being a thought leader on networking, speaking about networking. It's all drawing from my experiences of networking. And those experiences include failures, they include mistakes, they include goofs, right? I mean, it was time that I would meet people, get their corner, and be calling them and saying that, oh, I do this. And that's what I'm saying, really. Think like I'm like, oh my God, I even cringe at who I used to be. But if I wasn't that person, I would be who I am now. So what matters is reflection on all we do. Reflect. That's why it's on your journey, please. Let me emphasize this. You need to reflect. And please get my workbook. These things I'm talking about, of course, I'm selling, but it's an investment. It's an investment into your development, into yourself that pays dividends that never ends. This workbook will help you to reflect. And if you don't even have the workbook, just sit down and say, okay, you know what? I met XYZ people, last month, last week, whatever. Who is X to me? How was that our connection? How was it like? Was I able to see myself properly? How can I be value to X? What can she do for me? Did I enjoy conversation? What new thing did I learn about this person? And how do I think that person, what's that person impression of me? Take time to reflect. It's very important to reflect. If we don't reflect, we won't even be self-aware enough to recognize our mistakes. If we don't reflect, we'll keep repeating the same error because we're in a loop. When we reflect, and then you apply the principles. No, this was not what I've learned about networking. No. The next time, let me do this way. So it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay not to be perfect. Even I, as a speaker on networking, I am going through my own journey. We all have our unique journeys. And as unique as we are, the more we grow in building our. Can you meet yourself? The more we grow on this journey, the more we find our own unique approach to networking that suits our journey, that suits us. And even for each connection, you find out, okay, each connection is exactly very unique. The way you would approach each person is unique. But that takes you going through the process. That takes time. That takes getting to know people, right? So it's a journey, and open yourself up to the journey, to the learnings, to the wisdom, and to just growing from it. So well done, well done. And one thing I would also share with you is, like I mentioned, platforms. When you meet people, build rapport. But of course, they can even be also asking, what do you do? So I'm not saying don't sell. No, it's do it strategically, right? So that's not what you push. I don't be like, oh, because you don't say that, I don't want to talk to you again. Or, what can you for me? She don't gonna buy my products or whatever it is. So use your platforms very well, such that you are able to, build a rapport, and then on your story, you're posting your products. On your story, you have a product that is selling there. Whatever it is that you're selling, you put it there. Anything that showcases your service or what you do, put it on your platforms, WhatsApp, Instagram. So while you exchange connect, and you put a good rapport with that person is seeing your products. So you don't have to say, oh, this is what I do. They can see it, right? And so even if you don't get a chance to talk about it, which is try to chip in, but don't push it with pressure. But just in case you're not even able to actually push it where you want to push it. When you go back to WhatsApp, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and you showcase what you do, they can see it. They know. But they don't only know you for that because they build a rapport with you on a personal level. So that's what you can think about blessing. Leverage the platform so well that you don't always have to push in person when you meet people that you are connecting with. So before we go anymore, I think that the new chat. Okay, so Laura said something. Let's read Laura's chat. So Laura said, one thing that stood out for me is the fact that networking is about mutual exchange of value. In the past, when I had heard about networking, what would naturally come to mind is how you can build new connections that can benefit you in the long run. Most times, people are not thinking about the value they can give to others. I'm also guilty, but since I started these classes and as we have been breaking down the relationship markets and networking, it's been very eye-opening. The intentionality that goes into it is real. And it's not about gathering contact, but knowing who you need in your journey at every space. Very well said, Laura. Very, very well said. So yeah, without further ado, let's move straight into our case studies. So in our case study today, we'll have real life scenarios that cuts across industries. And basically that brings to life the before, during, and after framework. So let's go to our first case study. So now on mindset before method, I have two case studies per principle. Mindset before method. Next slide. So let's meet Amaka. Amaka is 32, a chartered accountant at a multinational in Lagos. Then a colleague tells her there'll be people there who could help you take your career to the next level about an upcoming industry breakfast. She registers immediately, but never prepares an introduction. Searches the speakers or decides who she wants to meet. She walks in thinking, I hope I meet someone who can help me get a better job, and then feels intimidated by the senior executives in the room and spends the first 20 minutes with colleagues she already knows. When she finally approaches the senior executive, she recites her job title and qualifications for 3 minutes. The woman listens politely, and someone else joins in. Namaka steps away. Months later, that executive is searching for someone with Amaka's exact expertise, and Amaka never comes to mind. Next slide. So I hope you followed now reading this, and let's talk about what we just read. Now I need you guys to give me energy. I need your proper response, and I need the whole room, not a few people. Let's talk because we're all here to learn, and we all need to participate in this. We've given some Amaka's story, going for this event, and how she approached everything. What was her problem? She spoke to someone that really had an opportunity that could have helped her. But when the opportunity came on board, that person didn't remember her. Why? So was her problem a lack of opportunity or lack of preparation? I want to hear from you guys in the chat box. If you want to talk. But if you want to talk, please don't take too long. Just under a minute, make your point. But if you don't want to talk, put it in the chat box. Was her problem lack of opportunity or lack of preparation? Dora says lack of preparation. Very good. What else? Okay, everybody's lack of preparation. She didn't prepare. She just said, I'm going to go. I hope I find somebody. I hope. I find somebody. She didn't prepare herself well. She didn't research the guests. She didn't research the participants. Then what mindset did she bring to the room? Let's talk about that. What mindset did Amaka bring to that room? Quickly, please. You guys are dulling you. Thank the melody. The mindset to get, not to be a person of value. That's one. What else? Then what are you thinking about? Think also about what could Amaka have offered people in that room? What could she have offered in that room? And then how would the outcome change if she entered thinking, what value can I bring? Instead of who can help me? Who wants to just take us on this? What could Amaka have offered people in that room? How would the outcome change if she entered thinking, what value can I bring instead of who can help me? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Are we tired? You can unmute yourself, you can speak up. Okay. Think about it. Okay. I think we didn't get the story. So Oyinda, please put the slides up again. And while you read the story, think about these questions. What was her mindset? What could she have offered in that room? And if she had thought about what can I bring? Or who can help me? What outcome would she have gotten? And take us to the previous slide. Let's see the story again. So I really need us to get these things. It's not about just talking about understanding. So yeah, let's read through. I'll give a minute for us to read through. Okay. So I want to believe we've read this thing better. So I want one or two people to say something about these questions. So say something. But please make it fast. Once I say thank you, please just stop. So that I don't want us to take some because we have more cases to look at. So
Something.
Okay. Can I say something?
Melody, please go ahead. 1 minute.
Okay, very quickly. So what I noticed is Amaka has a job title, she has a role, she has probably has a degree or something, but she doesn't have a clear offer. And because she doesn't have a clear offer, she doesn't exactly know the value she brings into the room. And because she doesn't exactly know her value that she brings into the room, she doesn't know the executive to target and network with. That's why she has to sit with our colleagues that she already knows because at the end of the day, she's just there, but she doesn't know why she's there.
Very well said, Melody. Thank you so much. Who else? One more person.
Can I speak?
August. Go ahead. Go ahead. Who is that? Mary.
Yeah. So I think
Yes.
the issue was the mindset she went with. She went with the mindset of how can I get help instead of a mindset of, okay, maybe an open mindset of, I just want to connect with people, get to know them. And instead of her approaching the executive she approached with, this is what I do, why she could have started a much better conversation by trying to just know this person. In that way conversation can flow. And at the end of the day, she can share her contacts with this person, then follow up, do the needful.
Very well said, Mary. Thank you for making it short and precise. Mary and Melody, thank you for that. So, Oyinda, go ahead.
Okay, so yes, so I mean, this has been such an amazing session, and also within this Amaka's case study, I think Amaka has been many of us and still many of us. So one thing I've also come to realize when it comes to networking is that it can be, especially when you're trying to network with persons who are way above you. It can be very nerve wracking. So I think you just have to find a soft landing. One of the you must have done your research. So Amaka should have known, should have researched on the speakers who were going to be there, and also should have also come across, like, come up with questions. I think one thing, like for me personally, especially very thought leader, one thing you would really like is to the opportunity to mentor people, to impact people. So when we see persons who come up with questions, who ask us questions, there is already this connection that has already been built already, and we want to pour, and we are curious to know so much about that person and why that person, and from the perspective in which the person is asking the question from. So Amaka should have, had such a strong why, and also, find a soft landing. One of it for me is questions. I ask questions, and it works like magic. The person is very curious and wants to know more about me. I think that's such a beautiful one, and also the mindset of wanting to serve. How can I serve you? Oh, this is something you are building. I am super excited about it. I would really love to see how can I serve? How can I volunteer? And that's it. I think this woman, this justice, I've forgotten her name, but she's quite very vocal. I'm very sure you know her. She really does, like, she has a lot of speaking engagement. I think she's quite viral too. And she was talking about how. So sorry. Yes. So she was talking about how people will come and reach out to her and say, "Oh, please come and mentor me, ma. Come and do this. Come and do that." And there are quite a lot. And there is never this genuine. It's always just very surface level. But there was this particular lady who said, "Ma, I would want you to, be my mentor. I would want to learn from you. I want to serve you. I would also love to, know when your events. I don't know if you get the story, like, and she's like, okay, I would also want to know when you have events I can be there to support and all of that. So this justice, she said that, so anytime she has an event, she sends it to her, and she always shows up. And she does not show up, she does not just show up, she shows up dressed correctly, like as an aide, like as our own legal aid, or our PA. So when our PA was, yes, yes. So when our PA was indisposed, she saw her, and next thing she just told the organizer and said, "You know what? Let her sit beside me. Let her sit beside me." And that was how that person, just got quite close proximity. She already understood. Okay, because of observation, she can tell. She takes coffee. She takes tea water, and that was how they were able to build such a beautiful relationship. So I think service is one of the most beautiful way for anybody to just show that yes, you are genuinely wanting to learn from this person, and not just transactional, or what this person can do for you. Because people like that are always wary of persons who just want to, how can you help? I need a job. Help me with the job. Like, nah. So yes, so that's it for me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Oyinda. Thank you so much. So let's move to our next case study very quickly. And I hope we'll be more interactive with that one. But thank you for those that have shared their thoughts. I hope to hear from Augustine. I hope to hear from Ibukun. I hope to hear from who else has not been speaking. Okay. Laura has spoken once, yeah. So but I hope to hear more from Adetoyinbo and Laura, who has actually convened in the past. So now we are still on the before. So this is a story of Tunde, and I want someone to read for us, actually. Someone that has not spoken. Ibukun or Augustine, can you read for us? And please, we don't have time. So please pay attention to the case study, read and understand it so that we don't have to go back and, start remembering details. So can Ibukun read for us? Thank you, Ibukun. Go ahead.
Yes. All right. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, very well.
All right. Thank you. So Tunde, 45, runs a food processing business in Ibadan.
produces packaged Nigerian snacks. Hearing of a major Lagos business conference full of distributors and investors, he prints 200 flyers and tells his wife, by the time I leave, I must have at least 50 contacts. He doesn't research who is attending or think about what he can offer. He just moves from person to person. Good afternoon. I own a food company. Let me give you my brochure. Next person, another flyer. By the day end, he has 63 business cards and feels triumphant. I have networked. 2 weeks later, he can't
Mhm.
remember who most of them are, and neither can they remember him. One contact, a supermarket procurement manager vaguely recalls him, but never follows up. The interaction felt like a sales pitch, not a relationship.
Thank you so much, Iboko. Thank you so, so much.
You're
So before we
welcome.
even go into it, okay, Augustine says on transit, so I understand. I understand. So you can just put your comment in the chat box. We'll be happy to hear from you in the chat box. Thank you. So Iboko, from what you even read to us, what are the lapses you're already seeing? What are the gaps? And what should you have done differently? So when you say the gaps, so much you would have done differently, and how you would have, what you would have done well.
All right. Firstly, the major gap is he didn't bother researching about the people that will be at the conference, because you can't pitch to everybody the same way. I know of many people that will give me flyers. Oh, I run this, I do this business, I do that business, but I can't recall all of them. Sometimes I won't even find the
Yeah.
flyer anymore. So if you do that, definitely the same will happen. But if you had done enough research, what I would have done differently is doing enough research and also finding a way I can position myself that would just feel natural. I could
Mhm.
maybe after doing my research, I can okay one or two persons that about what their business is. Imagine knowing a business manager that has managed some other businesses. It can even be food related. Then I can communicate with person that, oh, I've seen your work and it's really nice. I saw the your results, everything is really impressive. And from there, the person gets to know that, oh, you also in a food business company. Oh, that's nice. Then from there, it might not even be about them helping him or patronizing him. It might just be about that relationship first. And from there, of
Mhm.
course, you start getting the help he needs. So that's the major thing I noticed.
Very well said. Thank you so much, Ibukun. Let's give Ibukun, some emojis, clapping emojis. Let's appreciate that for reading
Thank
for us and
you.
also sharing, sharing our thoughts. So Adetoyinbo, tell me the lapses you saw and what you would have done differently. Thanks for raising your hand.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Very well. Good afternoon.
Okay, yeah. So far the session has been very impactful. Honestly, the reason why I've not been talking is because I've pretty much been outside, so the noise and everything. So
I
I've been
understand.
listening and I've been trying to understand one or two. So for what I learned, I feel honestly, the simplest way for me to like break this down is just about building trust. I think the main reason why why try to like know the person, get to know the person better, say things that the person would like just to like build a good relationship and stuff like that. I think the whole thing is just to build that trust, because I feel like most people won't just tend to like, okay, I want to work with this person, and you start sharing your flyers. And I mean, we see a lot of that these days. People share flyers here and there, but when it comes to you being more intentional about your business, your brand, I think trust is very important. I mean, that's pretty much the reason why I even insisted on let me start volunteering, because at first I was like, okay, let me pitch myself to this person. This person will work with me and stuff like that. But I was like, and I realized that it didn't later result to anything. I mean, I'll get people will be like, okay, we'll get back to you, stuff like that, but still nothing yet. But I realized that when I started volunteering for people were like, okay, since this guy is actually very what's the word, productive, and is he delivers on time, stuff like that. and that trust started building from there. So from there, I started getting actual gigs, and people start. In fact, even Melody can. I've worked with Melody, from TTC. I've never met Melody physically, and we saw on TTC, and from there, and we have worked on some projects together. So I think the one thing I've learned so far is about relationship, building relationship with people is just the main reason with me we doing that is just for the trust, just to get the trust intact. And yeah, I think that's one thing I can say.
Thank you so much, Augustine. I mean, Amade Twinbo, for sharing with us. Thank you so much. You know, when you want to launch a business, or maybe you want to promote your business and events, in fact, there are other ways you can do it. So you can go there as a delegate and network properly, build rapport, connect. And what you can also do is to have a stand, have an exhibition stand at that event where you can have samples of your products. So while you are speaking to people and you chip it in, you can now direct them to your stand to learn more about your business. They can taste your food. For example, if it's a Nigerian snacks, maybe chin chin, it might be kuli kuli, it might be plantain chips or potato chip, whatever it is you are selling. They can taste it and then they can now say, "Oh, this is really nice. Give me your flyer." Oh, your number is there, be on your flyer. So they've connected to your product. So clearly, Tunde's goal is to get more customers for his business, get his business more visible. But he went about it the wrong way by just saying, "This is my flyer, take." Do you know how many chips you have in Lagos? So what makes your own chip stand out? Some people buy from people that may not even have as good product as the next person, but because they know that person. Ah, I know this person. People buy from those they like, and they can't like you, they don't even know you in the first place. So those are things that, Tunde could have done better. So let's keep reading. As we read all the stories, I want us to look at the gaps and think, if it were me, what could I have done better? It's not enough to identify the gaps, but identifying what we could have done better. So, because of time, I don't want us to go into all the questions, but let's just say, look at this case study, read it properly, and then understand the problems and then what you would have done to resolve it. So, the questions here is, did Tunde actually network or just distribute flyers? What's the answer? Is there an answer? What's the answer? Yes or no? No, we didn't network, right? Why they collecting 63 contacts produce almost no value? Because they didn't make any connection. Exactly. Who should you have researched for the event? Research people that the delegates, the speakers, those are the opportunities. I remember I was at an event very recently, and I was exhibiting there and also attending as an attendee. And I met one of Your View co-hosts, Tokwe Makodigi. I don't know if you know her, TMO. And she was one of the speakers. And I went to speak to her because I know she was a thought leader. But I didn't just focus on that. She's someone that I really admire because I've been following Your View for how many years? I think since they even started, since I was in university. They started really, really like over a decade ago, right? And so when I met her, I just wanted to admire her, and just, talk to her and just say, I'm happy to actually meet you in person because I've really been following you. But I wasn't just fangirling alone. I was just appreciating her first and then saying what I do and saying, "Oh, I would like to, come on your platform, blah, 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 blah." And then she was like, "You know what? It might be harder to get you on Your View on TVC, but guess what? Come on my podcast." And I didn't say, "Oh, okay, it's not TV, it's not Your View on TVC." I came on a podcast and I already had, she already has me as one of our guests. On our podcast, it was a wonderful time that we had there. And for putting that podcast, I was able to build more rapport with her. And my goal of being on Your View will still happen by God's grace. Whether or not she helps me or, but the point is, we have built a rapport that has opened an opportunity, has opened a door, and even brought what I didn't expect, the podcasts I didn't know she was doing podcasts, right? I wasn't sure, I'm not sure, right? But, but the point is, that podcast coming, even honoring the invitation, coming all the way, we're gisting before, gisting after, I built a rapport with her. As that's one I've always admired. So don't always try and also put so much pressure. It must be this, just flow. Sometimes it's even better than what you even expect or imagine, even if it didn't start the way you wanted, right? So next slide. Let's quickly run through our stories. All right. So we're now in section 2, the during. Build connections, not just contacts. Next slide. rapport, listening, and genuine curiosity in the room. So now we are now on the core of the matter during networking. Who can read for us? Who wants to read for us? Yes, that same event. Only that was at that event as well. Yes. Only that was at that event. Who wants to read for us? Alex, anybody wants to read for us?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Fine.
Okay, let me try. I hope my noise in my background is not so much.
I think we can manage. We can hear you clearly.
Okay, Chioma, 28, a Lagos lawyer, meets Bola, a senior partner at a prestigious firm, at a networking dinner. Excited, she thinks, this is someone I need to impress. And when Bola asks about her practice, Chioma launches into a long account of her qualifications, clients, and ambitions, talking over Bola's attempt to respond. When, when Bola begins, we are currently working on an interesting cross-border transaction. Chioma interrupts, oh, I have done something similar. Let me tell you about. She hands Bola a card at the end of the night. Please, please keep me in mind. Bola smiles. Definitely. Days later, Bola remembers Chioma as ambitious, but nothing else. Not what she's passionate about, not what she's good at. And the opportunity hidden inside Bola's own story was never heard.
Wow. So, Adetoyinbo, what do you think of this story? Any gaps? And what would you have done better if there were gaps? Chioma 28.
Yeah, I think,
Yes. At the firm, yeah.
uh, yeah, I think it's still, I think the stories is still pretty much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So for me, I think it still boils down to what I said earlier. Being intentional about building quality relationship with people that you meet. Um, yeah, I think that's like what I can say right now. That's just
Thank
like
you.
the easiest way for me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Adetoyinbo. Speaking of being intentional, there was one key thing that I stressed earlier when I was sharing the principles that I think it's just one simple word that Chioma failed at doing here. Who can tell us what that is? One major thing that I really stressed that Chioma, didn't do here. Who remembers? You can put in the chat box or you can say it. Who remembers? Thank you, Melody. Listen. Chioma did not listen. She was just focused on saying her own things, reading up her own qualifications, her own ambitions. So all Bala does this guy is a very ambitious person. Oh, okay. Some people are very overwhelming with how they, when you meet them, they just bombard you. Hey, I do this, I do that. You know me, fight. When I want to say, I was like, yeah, even me. They go on and on. Like, okay. If you listen to me, I'll listen to you. And so what happens is I don't get to be myself. I don't get to also exchange information with you and build a rapport from there. Right? And when you're not able to share, you miss opportunities. When you're not able to share, you miss opportunities to learn from them. So, she was going to talk about the transaction. And rather than listen, okay, okay, listen to what she's about transaction and learn from it. Maybe might learn new things, but that's a senior executive at the firm. But she'll say, I've done something similar, blah, 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 blah. What if this person has something to, share with you? I mean, I'm a lawyer. I've gotten work from senior colleagues that we partner on briefs, or I've learned new things from senior colleagues. I have the opportunities to learn new things in the future when I have, briefs of that nature, right? So she did not listen. That's a key skill that she missed. And because she did not listen, she wasn't memorable. Or the rather, that's when the talkative. She likes to hear herself talk, and that's it. So let's take notes. Next slide. Next case study. We have to run. Next case study. So the question is, was Chioma actually listening to Bola? No, she wasn't. There was an opportunity hidden behind Bola's story. Chioma never heard about it. She might have been looking for a junior colleague that she can even partner with on a brief that would share the money. She didn't even get it. Or maybe she had a better opportunity for her somewhere, a conference that she can attend. She didn't get it. So what questions could Chema have asked? Think about it. Next slide. So Melody, can you read this for us? Yeah. Yeah. So Oyinda said she could have been memorable but negatively and not positively. And that's all she wrote that, oh, she's very ambitious. That girl, she dey feel herself gone. And that's it. And that's not the positive one. Because she came with a cup full, not half full. When you come with your cup half full, that means there's space for you to get more. When you come full, you know it all. You say it all. There's nothing can come inside. And the water will not be pouring away. Yeah, missed opportunities. All right. Melody, can you read for us, please? Our next case study.
Okay. Kunle, 52, owns a construction company in Abuja. At a private business dinner with officials, CEOs, investors, he spends the evening chasing a prominent businessman at the other end of the table, eventually getting a card exchange for a few words. Walking past a quiet younger man who introduces himself. Good evening, sir. David. Kunle barely engages. Okay, nice to meet you. Before turning to find another executive. Well, what Kunle doesn't know, David founded a fast-growing tech company that builds software helping construction firms cut procurement leakage and is actively looking for an established construction partner to pilot it. Kunle would have been ideal, but because David didn't look important enough, the conversation never happened.
If you follow that story as Melody read, then let's have a thumbs up. Let me show you off. So I can move to the next slide. If you follow that story, this story properly, let's have a thumbs up. Okay, thank you, Inga. Anybody else? Go on to the next slide. Okay, Boko has read it. Thank you, Adetoyinbo. Thank you. So I think it's safe to say majority of us have read it. So next slide. Talk to me about the gaps in this story. What assumption did Kunle make about David? Why can his mindset be dangerous in networking? What did Kunle lose by judging someone importance by age or status? What Nigerian networking realities make this scenario particularly relatable? Let's hear from. I want to hear from you guys. Look at these questions. Answer the questions. Melody, do you want to say something? You can raise up your hand, put it in the chat box. Let's talk about this. Any of these questions, let's answer them.
Okay,
Melody, go ahead.
yes, can I say something? Okay, so Kunle's assumption about David was because David was young, he probably hasn't achieved anything great. He has not done anything substantial yet in his life. He probably thought maybe an older executive would be like, yes, the big boss that is actually looking for the person with the opportunity that would help his own business scale. He looked down on David. He did not expect, like, just like Jesus Christ, can anything good come out of Nazareth? So, yeah.
So why is this mindset?
I didn't get that.
Why can this mindset be dangerous in networking? What you just shared. Why can it be dangerous?
Yeah, it can be dangerous because of what we just saw happen to Kole in the story. Because he literally walked past the opportunity. He woke up from his house, got ready for, went to the venue for, and he just let it slip through his hand. Why? Because he had his mind fixed on a particular way the opportunity is looking for should actually come through, like the exact channel he has already imagined in his head that's where it's to come to. So his mind was not open. He did not see a person for who they are, the potential that God created them with. He just
Yeah.
just looked down at the person that, oh, this guy is young, he has not done anything. I cannot benefit from him. Instead, he's looking to take from me when Kule is also looking to take from another person.
Very well said, Melody. Thank you. You know, this reminds me of a particular client who was one of my most supportive client. Not only is she a client, she also referred a lot of work to my firm, always supporting me. When I met her, I thought she was younger than me. She was petite. She didn't even act like, she was older than me. I felt like someone that was younger than me. And what happened was, at that time, I was planning my daughter's first year birthday party, and she told me she was the main planner. And so, excuse me, madam. So, my daughter is clearly disturbing me. Just bear with me. So, I just thought, okay, we network, we build a rapport and everything. And I just thought, giving her, say, you know what, come and help me in planning my third birthday party. And she came in, she gave me, literally, she did it for next to nothing because I was on a budget. She was like, don't worry, I'll just do it for you. I just paid her for, I think, the ushers, and that was it. It turns out she's not as older than me. She's older than me with 10 years. Very, very older than me. And she was in other sectors apart from event planning. She was in the travel space, in this space. She's built so much experience, so much knowledge. She has a great network. And she went from being my client. No, she went from being, I went from being she went from being, a cost, someone that I was patronizing, someone that was now my client. And has brought me a lot of opportunities. Imagine if I was looking at her and say, oh yeah, come on, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, they help. And I just took her normally and just said, okay, we've met. First of all, maybe I was like, maybe either we're age mates or she was younger than I was. But I thought she was younger than me. That's the truth. But I didn't, I was just waiting with her normally as a human being. It turned out that she's not my mate too. And I've gotten some opportunities from her. But I brought in the first value by saying, come on, I patronize our services. I didn't know she would end up being a very, very trusted supporter of my own practice. Yeah. So next case study, we need to wrap up. We're now on the after. Fortune is in the follow-up. 2 case studies on what happens or fails to happen after the room empties. Remember I told you, when we're in the room, there is momentum, there's positivity in the atmosphere, there's energy, there's a vibe. What happens after? So, who wants to read for us? When I'm allowed our hosts, read for us.
Okay. Okay, so yes.
Okay.
Oh, some to read actually. So
Yeah. Who
Sarah,
wanted to read?
35. Yeah, this one wanted to.
Who wanted to read so I can read the next one so I can just not read?
Oh, I wanted to, because when you said the host, I thought you were referring
Oh,
to.
okay.
Oh,
Okay. So
okay. Okay. Sorry, what's your name? I can't know your name.
yes,
My name,
Collins.
Collins. Nice to meet you, Collins. I didn't know that was a caller. I just thought, I didn't even notice, that. So,
Yeah.
Collins, you read the next one for us. So please, Oyinda, go ahead.
Okay, so yes. Sarah, 35, an HR professional in Lagos, has an excellent 15-minute conversation with Ngozi, a tech founder, at a Women in Business conference. They discover a shared passion for developing young Nigerian professionals, and Ngozi mentions she is considering a leadership development program, an area Sarah has direct experience in. They exchange numbers. The next day, Sarah sends, "Hi, Ngozi. It was lovely meeting you yesterday. Hope you had a safe trip home." Ngozi replies, "Lovely meeting you too. That's it." 3 weeks later, Sarah sees on LinkedIn that Ngozi's company has launched a leadership program. She assumes she probably wasn't serious. But Sarah never mentioned the program again, never sent a resource, never connected on LinkedIn, never checked in. She simply assumed the relationship would continue on its own.
Yeah. Thank you so much for reading. Yes, I hope you noted this story. We don't have time to wait for people to read. So next slide. I hope you guys follow through. Next slide. Okay, Ibukun. Thank you, Ibukun. Thank you, Inda. So let's talk. Did Sarah technically follow up? She followed up, Abby. She followed up now. She said, I gave the 48 hours rule. She did the 48 hours thing, sent a message. So why was this effective? Then what could she have referenced from their conversation? What value could she have sent Ngozi? How could she have stayed visible without becoming a nuisance? Let's talk. Anybody, you have the floor. Okay, Ibukun, go ahead.
Okay, all right, thank you. She didn't follow up properly because the follow up was just like, oh, how will I put it?
Nice
It
meeting.
was just, I'll say it was just for, yes, it was just for courtesy's sake. But if she really wanted to follow up, because people that try to partner with people, there has to be some kind of relationship. I can't just partner with you based on a 15 minutes conversation and you following up the next day and that's it. And since they had a shared passion, that could have been what she will talk about with um with her, and that would have, I mean, sparked more and more conversations. So that was the mistake she made. That's why the follow up wasn't effective because it was just, oh hi, how are you doing? It could be like good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning is not enough to spark a
Yeah,
relationship. And a relationship can't just start on its own. It has to be intentional. One has to do it intentionally, not just on its own. Let's go with the flow. Let's just vibe. No, it can't just happen like that.
thank you, Ibukun. I want you to highlight something because they started really well in their conversation. They connected on something. So what could she have done? What could she have referenced? When I don't help us with that as well.
Yeah, yes. So I mean, they already had such a great rapport, especially since they connected on a mutual ground. There was something they were passionate about, and so I think that was such an amazing one. So, our following up, I think she could still have reference the conversation and then say like more like an action, like a call to action. So yeah, so it was truly nice meeting you. Possibly, I liked something that stood out in their conversation about how impactful the person is, and then now use it as a call to action. Like, okay, so I think it would be nice if we could, jump on a coffee chat and brainstorm and see what we can do. Like that, just it shows commitment, and I think anybody who is truly excited about the idea would definitely want to honor that invitation. And just like Iboku said, it's not enough. Like a 15 minutes conversation is just not enough. So maybe they need to still be more, more communication, more sharing of ideas, and just to, yeah. So that's it really.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, they had a common ground, and that's one thing about that rapport does. We're all different, all of us, tall, short, dark skinned, fair skinned, young, younger, older, but we always have a common ground. It can be the kind of coffee we like, it can be football, the clubs that we support, it can be the colors that we love, it can be dressing, it can be even the events, our favorite session at the event, our favorite speaker. It can be the fact that we both come from Surrey, we both come from Lekki. We all have mutual grounds. And it can be as deep stuff as, oh, we are both committed to leadership developments. And they had that mutual ground. And she did not reference it in their follow up. And another thing I wanted to state is when she saw that she had an event in that area, she just, of course, she's not serious about it. She could have gone to meet her and say, oh my God, congrats on your event. Congrats on this stuff. I really let me know, please let me know next time you're having your next one. I'd love to work on it. I'll love to work with you. And if that event had not taken place, she could have attended that event to show commitment and then connected with her at that event, either virtual or physical, and then take it from there. So she can share ideas with her, she can volunteer with her and say, oh, I think your event's coming up. I would like to volunteer with you. And if so, volunteer, don't worry, we are full. Okay, she would attend and just continue. And then she can add value to where I can sponsor people to be at that event. I can sponsor my mentees or whoever it is, my contacts, just follow up if truly you are passionate. And it's very important for us to be real in our networking. Don't pretend, don't form. We all have things we're passionate about, all of us. So when you find your tribe, when you find your common ground, let it truly be a common ground that you are passionate about. That way it resonates, it comes out, and it's real. And that way it just flows. You're not even trying to network, you're just being yourself. But you're intentional, you're networking, but you are flowing well because it is real, because you truly have passion for these things. So that even drives you to make sure you connect in a way that is very relevant to your purpose and your passion and your journey. So I hope we've taken the lessons here. Our very last case study, Collins, please do us the honors of reading. Thank you for reading for us, Oinda. So, Collins, over to you.
All right. Good afternoon. All right. The scenario. Owns a logistics company in Lagos. At a business dinner, he meets Aisha, a procurement executive reviewing our company's logistics partners. Rather than pitch immediately, he asks, what are the biggest issues you're experiencing with your current providers? They talk for 10 more minutes, reliability and communication, not price, at the real frustration. The next morning, Emeka sends a message referencing their exact conversation plus a short industry report he thinks she would find useful. No ask, no pitch, no ask, no pitch. 2 weeks later, another useful resource. A month later, a calculations on LinkedIn achievements. 3 months later, a simple check-in. Eventually, Aisha says, Emeka, I think you should come and meet our procurement team. That meeting becomes a contract, not the result of one event, but of consistent, intentional relationship building.
Thank you so much, Collins. So this is a very positive example. What are the lessons here? Next slide. What are the lessons here? At what point did Emeka actually win? Did he ask for business immediately? What made his follow-up different from Sarah's? What role did patience play in the outcome? Think about these things, and I want your answers. This is our very last one, so let's take our time and just think about that. Please start putting your answer in the chat box or put up your hand. What role did patience play in this outcome? At what point did the relationship move from contact to connection to relationship? Answer of the question. And I want you guys to be direct your answers. Follow this. Don't give intentionality. Give the answers based on the scenario that has been, has been shared. Thank you so much. So, Melody, raise your hands first. Go ahead. Melody, for some reason, your voice sounds far.
Can you hear me?
Or is it just me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's better now. Can hear you better now. Yes, I
My
can hear you
AirPods.
better now. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Okay.
this is how
Okay,
Emeka won, like step by step, right? When he first connected with her, he showed genuine interest in who she was and what she does, found common ground, and also he found where exactly he could give value to her and our company, what she does, figured out the problem. A problem he can help solve. He gave value consistently. Now, he gave value the first time. Like, he heard about the problem, went back, sent her a pitch the next day. But that did not immediately convert. He consistently gave value, not just in solving a problem, but in also building the relationship. He kept on checking in those tiny eye checkups. It's compounded over time. That way, it stayed in our memory, and immediately there was an opportunity. Obviously, it came to mind naturally because he didn't give her the opportunity to forget him. He was always there, and not just there, but it was there in a very valuable way. So yeah, I relate personally to that story actually.
Thank you so much, Melody, for sharing. Yeah, absolutely correct. Let's hear from Blessing.
Okay, for Emeka, he targeted the person's problem. So when he spoke, he asked questions, and I think that's where most of us make mistakes. So,
Ask question.
yeah,
Thank you for I was
okay.
that's a starting point. Ask
Yeah.
questions, you find a problem. Thank you. Go ahead.
So he asked, okay, where can I come in? How can I help you? By asking, that's even like getting an expo. He has already know, okay, this is how I can bring value. Then he provided solution.
Sorry, because I want us to learn these things and learn it properly. He asked, what is the biggest challenge you're facing right now? It was very direct, very specific. Everybody, we all go challenges. That's what God do. We're all going through one challenge or another in our business, in our lives. So there's no way you can ask, I don't get an answer. Even Dangote has his own challenges, are big. So it was very direct. So don't just go there feeling clueless. Say, what can I say? She looks big. She looks that. Just ask questions that are specific and relevant. So sorry to cut you, Blessing. Please go ahead. I want us to just emphasize these points. Go ahead, please.
Well, that's my major point. He asked and then he provided solution, and that was how they were able to take that 15 minutes conversation to a lifelong relationship.
Thank you so much. Provided solutions. I like how you emphasize these things. You didn't just ask and say, oh, okay, okay. It happens like that in business, no. You look for ways to add value to her. You provided solutions. So in networking, you must be a solution provider as much as you can. Add value. If you don't have a solution, you might know someone that has a solution. Reference that person or ask that person. Think opportunities, think solutions, right? So let's talk about patience. Because like I said, it's a process. What role did patience play in the outcome? Who wants to talk about that? Quickly, before we round up. What role did patience play in the outcome? I know Melody touched on it and she did it very well, but I also want us to highlight that part. What role did patience play in the outcome? Who wants to go? Why are we quiet? We're rounding up now. Don't be tired. Don't be tired. Oh, yeah, talk to your people. What role did patience play in the outcome?
Maybe you should help us with this one, though.
Actually, no, it's very, very
Help us,
simple.
help us. Okay.
You can go back to the story.
Collins, please. Okay.
Yeah. What role did patience play in this outcome? In the second paragraph, it was very clear. The next morning, 24 hours, right? It sends a message referencing the exact conversation, plus a short industry report it thinks she'll find useful. Started giving her solutions immediately. No ask, no pitch. So he was patient. So it wasn't, she didn't feel pressured that someone wants to just sell his services to me. He wants to just, when she thinks, Emeka, she thinks, oh, this is someone that can give me, thank you, Bokon, thank you so much. See someone that can give me results. See someone that is here as a solution provider, a useful connection. So if we can take it off from where I've stopped. Go ahead. Ibukun, your hands are raised, so you have the floor. Ibukun, if you're speaking, you are muted. Okay, I'll wait for Ibukun. Let's read Melody's contribution. Melody says, patience helped build the truth between them and showed he was a solution to a problem they had. Absolutely. Or I think she meant to say build the bridge between them and show the was solution to problem they had. So Ibukun, if you want to speak,
Yeah.
build the trust. Build the trust. Yeah, please go ahead.
All right. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah. So the role I think patience played was the fact that it didn't make the relationship look forced. It gave enough time for Mary, I think. Is it Mary or Sarah? It gave enough time for her to reflect on the value that Emeka brought. And it wasn't, pushy and it showed that it's not like it was after anything from her. It wasn't after, oh, help my business, help do this for me, do that for me. But it was coming from a genuine place. So that really helped. And
Yeah.
who won't remember you for something you did without asking that, oh, do this in return? Because a lot of people are always after what they want to
Yeah.
benefit.
Yeah. Very well said, Ibukun. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I really, really believe that these scenarios that we've explored and we've analyzed, based on the principles that we shared earlier, would reinforce these principles in our memory and in our minds. And on our journey, we are mindful of these things, listening, being patient, adding value, following up effectively, building a rapport. So we've seen practical expressions of these things. And I believe that in our own journey from here on, we'll be more intentional about how we apply these principles and be better at our networking, day by day. So at this point, last slide, Oyinda, thank you so much for being such an amazing audience, an amazing delegates. My contact is here again. If you want to reach out to me for a private session, reach out for any reason, reach out, follow me on these platforms. There are so many value that, I bring on these platforms. Click link in my bio on Instagram to subscribe to my newsletter so you can get more and more constant information and insights on network and everything I'm sharing. And I hope to hear from you soon. And I know that with all these things that we've, shared at my sessions and every other session you've been a part of in this summit, I'm sure that you're better for it. I'm sure that you grow. And I'm sure that I'll definitely see you at the top. So thank you for being an engaging and a warm, amazing audience. You all are high flyers, and I know that you guys will just great. I look forward to us flying and soaring high together. Thank you, Rita, for having me. And this is my bowing out gracefully. And thank you once again for your patience with, rescheduling today's session. I'm glad I finally made it and we've done this. And it's been a good one. Thank you. Over to
Thank
you, Rita.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you, really. I don't even know how to express like my gratitude. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel like you've really poured your heart to us, and that's very rare. That's very rare. Especially like looking at, how you're a very busy person. Very busy. So seeing how you, even today, I know you have an event, so I'm still very, I didn't know how you were able to do it. So it just shows that your intention about like impact and just, pouring into people, and that is so much appreciated, genuinely appreciated. Thank you so much. There is so much I have learned personally. In fact, I have learned. I'm still reading your book. I didn't know if I told you, but I've just been, take it, drink water, go back. Say because it's just so packed. Yeah, literally, it's just so packed. And these two sessions has also been truly amazing, and it has really helped because one thing your sessions has helped me do is, even on LinkedIn, when people reach out to me, I'm able to. It's almost like I'm playing it in my head as to what would happen next or what would happen if I do this. Like, yeah, that is how practical your sessions have really been. So thank you. And yeah, someone is asking how they can get your book.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're in Lagos or Abuja, in Roving Heights. And in Lagos, it's also at Latana Books. It's at Book Nook in Lekki. So Latana Books, Roving Heights, and Book Nook. It's there in the stores. And if you want to get directly from me, just talk to Oyinda. Talk to Oyinda. There's a link. Yeah, so you can send me a DM. You can, you have my contact here. You can send me a DM. Or if you want to get directly from me, you can talk to Oyinda as well. Whichever way, there are options for you to get it. My team will reach out to you. Once you send us a request, we'll figure out how we can get across to you.
Okay, absolutely. So I think I'll just reach out on our behalf to get the link. So thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. And I'm very sure that we'll be sharing our reviews. Please take a screenshot of this, go tag her on Instagram, go on LinkedIn, follow her. And you can also give recommendations. She's such an amazing coach. So please, you can recommend on LinkedIn. So people can also see, the testament as to how truly amazing the coach is. I think you're one of the only few people I've seen like case studies. Like your case studies are which is very amazing. I think I would adopt that also personally. So thank you so much. We are grateful and we love you so much. And we definitely look forward to maybe when we have like a physical event, which I think I told you about that, like a summit, a major summit. So
Oh,
hopefully, yes, we'll definitely. And yeah, we are going to be a partner. I think I've told you.
don't
So
tell me what this thing
yeah,
I
so
told you, but we'll talk. All right.
okay, yeah, so thank you so much and do have an amazing day. Thank you. God bless you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you for making our time to join in. Bye, Samson. Bye, Augustine. Bye, Blessing. Bye, Laura. And yes, well, we still have a challenge that is coming up soon. So I think we'll communicate that on the platform. So yes, bye, Ibuko. Bye, Augustine. Bye, Blessing. Bye, Mary. And bye, Collins.